Okay, guys, welcome to the class. What we're going to do, we are going to go through a couple of different things. We're going to go through, first of all, what I call a five-part sequence. And it's basically how to build trust, and just to show you whether you do email or whether you do posting, that, everything that you do online is kind of the psychological sequence. There's a whole sequence in the brain. And many people in my academy, you have the AI Vault. Who's used the AI Vault, guys? It's a fantastic tool. And soon you'll have the AI clone. Okay, so you'll be able to go and use the AI clone anytime. But at this moment, you have, if you copy and paste what I've given you, you have access. It gives you the same thing at the moment. But what I'm wanting to do here is I've kind of done a lot for you. But I'm finding the longer I do this, especially when you've worked your whole life with, well, not your whole life, but when you've worked like me such a long time with millionaires, now I work with people just like me. I've realized that I need to teach you a little bit more of the inside stuff so you don't just become like a copy and paste machine. Does that make sense? I know some people love it, not having to think, not having to do anything, but I love to use my brain. Who likes to use the brain? I love to use a brain. I don't want AI to take over our lives. So I need to, even though you will be using AI, even though it's an amazing tool, I felt I had this obligation to show you a little bit more so you can understand why you can't just go in. I don't even know the right English words for this, but in Scottish we say willy-nilly. I don't even, I have, can chat. What, like, how else would I say this? Because we have some like non-native English speakers, and I'm just like, I have absolutely no idea how else I would say it. Like, we just willy-nilly it. So let me just share. I've put it together in a nice little PowerPoint for you. For the ones in Academy, this will go up and I'll show you what it is. So how to build trust, and it's not an email strategy, and it's not like a posting trick. This is like, it's a psychological sequence, and it works like for email, post, Facebook, live rooms, whatever. And this is like the very simple thing to show you where I got all my stuff from, even though I worked with the gurus. But the brain, and this is important, I've wrote here, it does not care where it receives the message. It only cares about the order. Okay? So keep that in mind. Let me show you the next one. Right? Core rule. Every message has one job. Not engagement, not likes, not comment, movement. Your brain moves forward one step at a time. Guys, for the ones in the academy, who are the ones who've seen the class on the cake recipes, on the whole complete guru secrets, that a hook really isn't a hook? There's so much more into it. So the ones in the academy, you want to go in and look for that, type in the cake recipes. So if I can like get you to think in order of how you are, in order of how your clients think about how this works in practice. You can like run this sequence or any sequence I give you over 5 days all at once, or post it like inside a group, and time does not matter. The order does. And then people say, I but Nicola. And people might say to you, when you put things in order, this is when you can come back with a bit of an authority. So for me, before I carry on, I built the largest Facebook group in the world in its niche, using exactly what I teach in the academy, but I began it by what I'm about to show you now. All right. And this is how you can use this in email or anybody. So part one, I was always like, okay, and this is for sales, for anything, for emails, you need to understand what the brain is asking. What is this? Why am I saying this? So your job, remove the suspicion and lower the nervous system. what this message must do, it must explain what's happening without selling, without promises. And it's not a pitch. I'm not selling you anything. I want to explain something most people misunderstand. If you skip this step, the brain exits. Now, repeat this. If you skip this step, the brain the people will go away, they will sweep, and they will be gone. Hands up if that makes sense. Now you all understand, for the ones who know the more deeper stuff, it's not just a hook, like the whole secret pattern interrupt, the whole cake recipe. If we don't get the brain in order, it's gone. So every single thing in the academy, every single thing, especially in that AI vault, and you will see in the future, some people will be watching this on record in the future. Some of you are lucky to watch me teach it live. But you can understand why I'm building my own AI clone of myself, because I will be able to give you access to it, I can sell it, and I believe everybody in the future that's the way it's going to be. Can you agree with me? This is where we're going here. But everything needs to be built in the sequence, and it needs to be presented in the sequence. So again, I felt this was an obligation to go through this with you and not just be this copy and paste exercise of what we've got. So part one, brain's asking all this. What happens in part two? Now you've seen, guys, I've just used a picture of the brain again. Why? To get inside your brains. Because I want you to understand where this comes from. Because I know a lot of you love just copy and pasting and putting it all together from the AI vault, but I do know that it is quite a few of you who want to learn what this is, where it comes from, and you can also use this information. Go and study a little bit on the brain, understand the both sides, because you can use this information I'm giving you to also create some things for your clients. And when you understand this, you will then go, that's why the masterclass is in that sequence. That's why she's got that whole posting in that. That's why this is like this. I didn't just make it up. So what happens in part two? The brain is asking, is this about me? You know, remove self-blame, maybe create identification. What the message must do, it must show the problem without making them wrong. So this is really important, what you must do with your people. If you've tried positioning or selling or launching nothing before it moved, I could use this. It's not because you're bad at this. It's because the order matters. Nobody explains it. This is where the trust begins. So can you see, for me, for my niche, I'm an online business and an offline business. So I'm a business consultant. I never know where it comes from, a business consultant or a coach these days, because I was never a coach. I've been a business consultant my whole life. But can you see, if I'm going to teach somebody, I'm going to tell them it's not because you're bad at this. For the ones who are going to coach, you also need to bring yourself down to their level. So this is part two. Okay. Now, guys, all this is my whole AI vault and cake recipes is built on this, but this is so you understand why you cannot miss any parts. Now, next one. Part three is a whole belief shift, and you see it again. I have moved the brain here to the other side, mainly to get into you. We're talking about the brain. So the belief shift, what the brain is asking, why has this not worked before? So here's your job. Create relief. Explain failure correctly. What this message must do, shift blame from the person to the process. So take it away. An example, this is for me, I wrote this for me. Selling does not fail because people do not work hard. It fails because the brain needs decisions in a specific order. Once you see that order, everything becomes clearer. And this basically is authority without hype. So this is what happens when people first see Orientation and safety, because the brain needs to feel safe. The big wall. Is this mine? Next, the belief shift. Okay. Number 4, is this possible? So the brain's going, let's now start tick, 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 tick. This is why I've done this. Could this work for me? So your job is allow that desire without pressure. And what this message must do is show emotional benefit of you understanding them. So me, I could go, what surprised me was not the money, it was calm knowing what mattered and what did not. This is where like readiness forms. So I could use this kind of terminology in any, like my masterclasses, my emails. And for the ones who are watching this live, you will see in a couple of days, I'm nearly about there with my VA, you will see a completely new different thing on my socials that follows everything like this to a T. Hundreds of posts going up. Now, part 5, invite. The brain is asking, what do I do next? And if you do not take their hand and bring them into your world, they will not come. Does that make sense? Whether it's emailing, whether it's posting, whether it's masterclasses, if you do not take them where you want them to go, they will not come. If you do not follow up using the sequences, you will not get the people who need a little bit more. On email 1 or post 1 or DM 1 and 2 and 3. And remember in the academy, we taught this the other week. For the ones who are watching this on digital, this will probably be part of it. What if somebody doesn't sign up to your event? Now, when we get to the invitation, guys, let me just go back a bit. Orientation, safety, the wall, belief. It's like, and then it's possible. And then invite. If we don't invite them with no pressure, you can go deeper in this. This is how I could say this is how selling feels safe. But if I don't invite them, what happens if you're having a party and you don't invite people? How many people are you going to have at your party? Okay, what happens if you have a shop and the door is closed and locked? How many people can come in? What happens if you want to have an online business and you want to bring people to your masterclass? But every post in your bio and every banner on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Insta, wherever you are, does not promote that masterclass that you're running in a couple of weeks. And every single post, at least 31 times, I would say now in these days, 32 times. Can you realize we want to take people through all these steps? Make sense, guys? Now, let me just share this back up again. How to use this. So you would use this. You could send us emails, post this as content, pin this inside your groups, run it over days or hours. The brain does not need time. It needs order. The brain needs to feel safe. That's the human brain. And then imagine, got this wall. It's asking, is this me? Then the belief, oh, but could it be this time? This is possible. Would you like to come? Again, I need to feel safe. Oh, is this about me? Could this be? Is it possible? Would you like to come? Can you see, put your hand up, guys, can you see that all the posting, everything in the AI vault, you can just copy and paste whatever you want. You can use the cake recipes to have everything you want. So like it's not just a hook, it's a lot deeper. But do you now understand this is how the brain works? So if you're just posting willy-nilly, if you're just talking to somebody willy-nilly, you're not bringing them through. So that's why if you have ever probably bought something online, signed up to stuff, and you get like these barrage of emails, they will come in a sequence. And everything is for a reason. So it's a 5-part sequence. That's how you can use it. The biggest mistake. Have a read of this. Most people, they mix the steps. They sell before it's safe, they teach before the trust, and they push before clarity. And confusion equals the exit. For the ones who are watching me actually teach this live, and the ones who have access to my masterclasses and my challenges, and the one that did like the 10 grand in the first hour, and you now know what all the millionaire gurus do. Hands up who now understands that if it's not in the right order, then that they would not have got that amount of sign-ups, not made that amount of money. If you didn't go in the right order of your calorie deficit, you would not lose the weight. If you did not follow the order on the GPS, you would end up, no idea where in the car, but you would not end up at your destination if you did not follow the order. Does this make sense? I have given everybody in the academy the most babyest steps ever, so you don't need to think. Who agrees? Hands up. However, if you're anything like me, I like to understand and use my brain a bit. Who likes to see this, that it's only 5 parts? And this is how we use the brain on everything. Even the course order I give you, how to put it together. The line to remember, content does not convert. The order converts. And people go, oh, but Nicola, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. Number 1. What comes after number 1? 2. What comes after number 2? What comes after? Am I getting through to you? Do you all, for the ones who are watching this live, do you all understand why I have built a whole AI vault step by step by step? And everything is in that order. Type yes into the chat if you understand. Type no if you don't. Okay, Lindsay says yes, Nadia says yes, Paula yes, Hannah yes, Gabby yes. Okay, fantastic. Yes, yes, yes. Great. So now you understand there's a whole 5-part sequence. And this is absolutely fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm now going to go on in a minute and I'm going to teach you the whole secrets of the, people call it like the top of a funnel, the middle of the funnel, the bottom of a funnel. A funnel is just a secret, is a sequence of words. Okay? And that sequence of words is what we use. And there's many different types of sequence of words to get people to sign up, to get warm people to sign up, to get people who have signed up and didn't. So they would need a different sequence. Does that make sense? To get people who've signed up to upgrade, they would need some more said to them. To get people who bought this but who didn't. To get people who have purchased, but so can you see? When you see things, it's just different sequences of words. However, there's a thing which starts with a word called tofu, top of the funnel. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is in the next video.